Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 441. It was a hectic week, a busy week, so we had to bring in Couch GT.
Hello.
How's it going, Sean?
Watching wrestling. It's fine.
Good stuff. We got OJ returning. How we doing, OJ?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on. Sorry about the no-show last week. Just was playing some video games with a friend of mine, like I was telling the guys before we started. But yeah, it's good to be back. Good to see all the Spawncast peeps again. Looking forward to talking about some games and stuff.
And Evan's here too.
Yep.
Evan was at like a party or something last week. He's out social. Everyone was out socializing last week. Man, everyone was. It's just me.
People turning 40 want me to be places, apparently.
Man.
Well, mine wasn't until Sunday. I needed to sleep because Friday night I didn't fall asleep till like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, but you were going to go socialize like the
Sunday.
next morning.
Yeah,
you had to drive out there early in the morning.
Well,
and
John,
all that stuff.
I was going to send my wife as a replacement, but I was thinking, that's probably not a good idea. You know what I'm saying? It's probably a bad idea. But she suggested, and I was like, "You're
could have been an amazing episode. We'll never know."
She knows nothing about it. She'd be talking about the Legend of Zelda like on the NES.
Hey,
We've done it. It's not like we haven't done that before.
I think one of the more interesting things is to see people like their opinion or react to a game for the first time with no knowledge, anything, and it's a game that we all are very, very aware of or knowledgeable on. It's always interesting to see that.
Okay, that's true because I was playing Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment, and she thought it was like the craziest thing. She like the way that she was looking at the game, like all like the flashing lights and stuff. She was just like, "That's," and she like recorded it on her phone. She was kind of like spazzing out of it and thinking about how
we're so jaded. We're so jaded by the whole thing industry for decades of just beating us down. And all it takes really is just like flashing lights and cool looking stuff to bring people in. But it was, like I said, it was a week. So it's good to have some people on so we can go over it. I will ask up front though, did anyone like watch the Xbox showcase thing, the partner showcase?
I didn't watch it, but I watched all the trailers and I covered it afterwards, so I know about all the games and stuff that was announced.
I watch a fucking thing of it.
Yes, that was the reaction.
Up and put it in a news wave.
Evan only because he had to cut it up.
Well, they dropped the trailers right afterwards, and I just like looked at the trailers and I was like, okay, I'm good.
Yep, that honestly the reaction, because I was even gonna ask people to give it a grade, but then when Jeff Keighley did that, most of the responses were, "Oh, there was a showcase today." I
don't think many people do.
They didn't even put Silent Hill in there. Silent Hill 2 they just randomly put it up on the Xbox store and they said nothing about it. But they didn't even say it Shadow dropped. I didn't see anything about it.
I think later they did post something later, but it was not like, hey, it's now available for whatever. Right. I mean, and they had a discount on it too. I mean, that would have been a pretty good, thing to maybe just mention.
It's like half off.
It's a good sign for a company to be like, oh shit, let's get some notes out there.
But hey, Xbox is great at marketing, man. I hear it all the time. So
yeah,
it's like they're good and they're bad. Like they're really good at some things and they're kind of bad at other things when it comes to the marketing aspect. I mean, the Play Anywhere stuff is, if you're willing to invest in all the different devices that you need for it, it's pretty cool.
They're really good at making like special controllers.
Yeah.
They're very good at that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true.
I'm trying over here. I wrote down everything that was there. Again, I don't know how interesting it ended up being to a lot of people. 007 was one of the big games there. Vampire Crawlers. So there's a sequel to Vampire Survivors, kind of. It's like a follow-up, but it's more of a 3D dungeon crawler, like old school DOS looking game. And we had Zoo Punk, which is from the developers who made Fist. And that one's more of a 3D action game. And they had Hitman, World of Assassination, Eminem versus Slim Shady.
Yo.
Yep, that's the thing.
Crossover we all needed.
Yep. Yes, and as the biggest Slim Shady Eminem fan here, I'm not looking forward to it because I don't care. But it was cool to see.
They have Tides of Annihilation was probably the best looking thing there. Frame rate was rough for that thing though. Oh man, they started showing it. It was definitely real gameplay. I'll at least give them that.
It looked real janky. But like the spectacle was good enough to say, okay, well they'll clean it up maybe at launch, maybe.
If they get that frame rate figured out, that game looks like it has a lot of potential, or it looks like it's incredibly fake. It's one of the two, because it almost looked like it came together a little too perfectly with some of the choreography and effects. But I mean, if that's really what it ends up looking like, it's a good looking action game.
The only thing that I'm a little worried, it's like the whole Lost Soul Aside situation, like remember how people were kind of like, because it looks so flashy, it looks so good, and then it came out and it was like, oh wow, what happened here?
Or what's that? Yeah. What's that game that's coming out? Crimson Desert or whatever?
That's out, in the first quarter of next year.
Crimson Desert has a little bit of weirdness though, since it's based on the MMO that already has a lot of these assets built into it. So it's almost could potentially be a high quality MMO swap or asset swap. So
I think sus.
It's still sus as hell, but it's not like there's no groundwork behind it.
There's some there's people have went hands on with that game though, right? And said that it's okay.
They did some preview stuff, but it was at like a controlled event. The thing with this is it's on like their own specific engine, so we don't even have a great comparable for it in this kind of a game or this kind of a setting. But it is out in March, so this thing's out in like 4 months. Apparently, we'll see. Allegedly out in 4 months. But that was. Oh, and then at the end of the show, they were kind of quick with this. It went by pretty fast, and then people started to look into it and realize that their Xbox full screen experience is now on all these different Windows handhelds. So if you have a ROG Ally X, whatever, this Windows full screen experience should be pushed to your device by now through updates. You can do that, and it'll have the same kind of look and I guess UI that we have right now on the Xbox Ally X handheld. And then they have the preview right now for the Windows Insiders to where you'll be able to load it on a full computer. So you can do one of those mini PCs or just your gaming PC now, if you wanted to have that done. So this is kind of Microsoft's big push to get more, I assume, more data and try to be able to clean up the OS as they get closer to next gen. But it's definitely better than Windows as it is now for handhelds by a significant amount, but it's definitely not, this is console level experience. Still, it's out there. People want to load it, they can do that. Let me talk to you guys about the Kirby Air Riders. Who picked this up?
I picked it up. I played
I grabbed it. I picked it up too. I got it physically, and we played a little bit of it tonight. But Sean, you put a whole video out on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
You were quite skeptical of this game.
I was, but I tried to go in with an open mind, and it's a game. The city mode's kind of fun. I could see myself playing that every once in a while. Top down mode, it's okay. Air ride is I don't know, man. It's something.
You don't have a lot of love for the GameCube one though.
No, I don't.
This is a game that was made for the people who like the GameCube one. That's basically what it is.
That's a lie, John. It's made for a new audience. It's Kirby is definitely more popular now than he was back in that era. And it's just, I don't know, man. I didn't like it.
Wasn't your game.
Nope.
Yeah, it's not for everybody. I mean, it's the people that, here's the thing that I realized, the people that really like the GameCube game though really like this game. Like I know Miss Click, she loved the GameCube game growing up. She said this, it's incredible. People that I follow on Twitter that all were hyping it up about the GameCube release. I wasn't in love with the GameCube release, but I played it. Like I played it back then, thought it was okay. This one, same thing. I played the road trip mode, and I'm like, oh, it's okay. Like it's just, there's a lot of different stuff to do. It's a lot of collectibles, tons of customization. If you got friends to play with, then it can be a lot of fun. Or if you get a group of people to play with online, it can be a ton of fun. And there's a lot of stuff to do in the game. And it plays super smooth. Like frame rate's good, graphics are okay, not bad, not incredible. But it runs super smooth. And yeah, like I said, there's a ton of different stuff, a lot of different modes, and all that. Like if you, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I don't have anything else to say. Right, I can't remember anything.
I think one of my problems with the game is just it's a very Sakurai. Oh God, it's a very Sakurai game, in meaning like it takes a lot from Smash Brothers, like the menus and stuff, like some of the sound effects, the way you unlock stuff, and it's like with Smash Brothers it makes sense. You know, you have all of these characters from all of these franchises and all these iconic things. And it's like if you're not like a Kirby aficionado, like a lot of this stuff that like you're unlocking and stuff is just gonna be like, oh, okay, I guess that's neat. Like it's very bizarre to me how it's just like trying to it definitely feels like it's trying to treat like the Kirby universe as big as the Smash universe, and it's like I don't think they're exactly one to one. I don't think there's as much love for a lot. But hey, you know what? They put that little hamster guy in there, and all the white women went crazy
Rick?
on Twitter. So yeah.
I don't know. I thought that was actually a cool thing, like with the checklist and like the type of stuff, kind of like Smash, because Smash has always been lauded for its collectibles and the stuff that you can do in there. And yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, Sakurai, it's a very Sakurai game. So if you like Kid Icarus Uprising has like the same type of thing with Kid Icarus Uprising in that game, with the amount of collectibles and things and stuff that you can unlock and modes. So pretty much anything Sakurai works on, like with major game that we've seen since he left Nintendo, it's going to be kind of like that in a way. And kind of I felt like that with Kid Icarus Uprising, and now this game, I don't know, I thought it gave it a little bit more, that personal touch that Sakurai is kind of like known for. So if you're into collecting, or if you're into getting all the whatever stuff in a game or the extra content, it could be fun. But I mean, I definitely see what Sean's saying. But I mean, I don't know. I thought that was kind of a cool thing. Kind of provides some like replay value and content to the game, to where you have these different checklists for each event, like City Trial or for Road Trip. You can just unlock a bunch of cool stuff. And yeah, I mean, it's not going to be for everybody. Obviously, the Kirby universe is nowhere near as, I would say, expansive and interesting as all the different stuff in Super Smash Brothers. I agree with that. But I think it's just kind of cool to have that, where, people were complaining in Mario Kart World that there wasn't enough stuff to unlock. There wasn't enough things. And this game kind of gives you all of that, so.
I played like an hour of the Road Trip mode, and things were unlocking every 2 minutes, or so. Like stuff was just happening constantly. It's almost like it's kind of that built-in achievement system almost. It's like as you're doing stuff in races or battles or arenas or whatever, little notifications are popping up the whole time while you're hitting stuff or going over jumps or throwing items. So I think Sakurai just has this idea that you do have to have like a constant reward system, especially early on, to keep people just engaged with the game. Things just have to be popping up and happening.
That's
that constant dopamine hit, basically.
It's the battle royale mindset.
Yeah. I mean,
generation.
Yeah, basically.
That's all Smash Brothers is. You're constantly getting new music, constantly doing new whatever. Stuff's always unlocking. This might be a little bit more than Smash in some respects, but
I think it kind of is.
Yeah, it might be a bit more than Smash. But it's still like one of those things to where it's very similar. Some people are going to adore it for that. Some people might not like it as much for that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, after the people were talking about, like, from what I've seen with like what people were saying about Sonic and the unlocks in that, and compared to Mario Kart World, and now we have Kirby, I think that, offering that definitely is it's probably a better thing to kind of offer that amount of customization and all that, because, you are charging $70 for this, and it does not have the profile of, of Mario Kart World, or it does not have the profile of some of these other games out there. So
yeah, I think my big issue is it's literally a couple of weeks before Metroid Prime 4, and I'm so focused in on that game right now because we're so close. And we'll get, I'm sure, reviews 10 days from now or something, probably on the 2nd or the 3rd of that week. So review codes are most likely going out next week. You know how that goes. People say things and throw stuff around here and there, and I think we're gonna get a lot of Metroid talk and hype, but that's kind of where I am now. We've waited so long. I'm kind of looking past Kirby Air Riders a bit. So even when I got it and I'm playing it, I'm like, I guess it's fine, but I know I'm dropping it here soon when Metroid Prime 4 hits. So kind of already have that in the back of my mind. But hey, look, for Kirby Air Ride fans, you got the follow-up a couple decades later. And I mean, Sakurai basically said, this is it. This is how it's going to go. I'm basically done with Kirby Air Ride at this point. So buy this one if you want a new one. And maybe he rolls on to Smash Brothers or something else. I don't know.
Yeah, he's already on that. The proposal's probably already in. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if the proposal's already in terms of the amount of characters and what they're going to be doing, and he's probably going to start working on that, or if not already been working on that. But it might be a while before we see it.
It's going to annoy a lot of people.
What, Smash?
When he reboots the whole thing and he changes something up.
Like 10 characters.
Oh, he's going to come off the happy audience of Kirby Air Riders of like, you know.
He has to reboot. Like, I mean, he has to reboot it. I mean, he can port, I guess, Ultimate and like add like an enhanced port, sure. But like really we need new movesets. The movesets are so old at this point. I mean, Mario's still doing stuff from Sunshine. You know, like it's like there's no cap. There's no Cappy. There's no like Metroid Dread. Dread's going on what? Dread's 4 years old now. So yeah, Dread's on 4. Like Samus still moves like she moved like from like the N64 or like GameCube. Like it's like they desperately need updates for a lot of the characters.
Well, Kirby Air Riders is out now, so people can check it out. I am, I did notice, and I got it physically. I pop it open. There's not a manual in there. They have a full leaflet advertisement for Nintendo Switch Online instead. So that's, I guess, what they're dropping in these. But they have the reverse. There's like a pattern on the back of the cover. But the translucent red case basically ruins it. Like you can't even see it. So I'm starting to realize that side effect going forward of the translucent red. It just...
There's also a 7-day free trial of the NSO. On that.
Oh, is that what's in there? Oh, is that what's in there? Oh, wow. Yeah. There you go. Hey, just giving away at this point.
You can give that away, baby.
7 days, great. It's probably the base one, the $20 one a year.
I'm not sure which one it is. I think probably the base one.
Man, maybe I'll grab it and put the code up or something. I don't know. 7 days of the how much is that? 10 cents or something?
I think NSO is like $1 something a month. So
Medallion says, happy 20 years to the Xbox 360, the best non-Nintendo system. Red rings are no match for rosy memories of HD gaming for the first time. Has indeed. Today, actually, 20 years. November 22nd, 2005 is when the Xbox 360 came out. Nerd Crave says, I have a whole segment for that for the 360 because I feel like that for a lot of people that was, one of the more popular systems they remember just outright for any company. Nerd Crave says, bought Switch 2 plus Donkey Kong and Age of Imprisonment, but I have spent all my time playing Xenoblade Chronicles X and Splatoon 3.
Well, don't worry, OJ's still working on his Xenoblade Chronicles X review.
Don't worry, I'll get it out at some point.
I'm waiting.
You can watch my review from 2015 if you want.
I want the Switch one.
Teacher says, I get the feeling none of the outlets on the panel played Trails in the Sky. That is the biggest snub for me for best RPG alongside Sonic 3 film for best adaptation.
I'm sure the LA Times played that. They love that over there.
Oh,
so the thing with the outlets with a lot of JRPGs, a lot of them just like outsource it to their JRPG guy. You know,
they got a guy.
Yeah, they got a guy. Like even like Game Explain,
in the basement behind the water heater.
Game Explain, they outsource it to like one of my viewers, like Katana.
What?
He just
really,
like literally just like outsourced the review of like I forgot what Xenoblade it was. Like and like no, he's a good like he plays RPGs and he knows them, but they didn't even play it themselves. They just let him do it. And like
That's
I said, he's good at RPGs and stuff. But I mean, a lot of these dudes they just outsource it, bro. They just let somebody that plays JRPGs do it. So when it comes time for like voting and all that, they're not even thinking about that stuff. They're not even thinking about it. They got somebody else to do it.
Should we take a look at some of these Game of the Year categories or just Game of the Year, the categories they have over on the Game Awards? Because there are many, and I did skip all the esports ones because we probably won't know any of them. So, well, Evan will. Evan would actually. Evan would.
It depends.
Is there a team that you think is going to win the whole thing for that?
I honestly don't care.
Okay, fair enough.
The stupidest name.
It's gonna be it's all gonna be just based on people knowing them, which is usually based on either memes or controversy. Right. So
that one especially feels like a popularity contest.
It is
sports team one, yeah. Okay, let's see. Best adaptation. This is the one that was just mentioned by T-Joe as a major snub for Sonic 3. I forgot about this, but Sonic 3 came out 2 weeks after the Game Awards happened last year. And I just think a lot of people forgot that it was eligible for this year. I really think that's what happened, because I don't know how it would, like, it's not on here. You could take Until Dawn off and drop Sonic 3 in.
Well, we constantly joke about games that aren't going to make it just because they release too early. Like, that's just it. It's just time. If you want to aim for a Game Award, release later in the year.
That Until Dawn was weird as fuck too. The movie.
I didn't even see it, but people were saying it didn't really even match up to the game or what they expected it.
It really did. It was all based on like time and like going back in time. I watched it because it was on some streaming service I have.
I'm looking at these. I'm like halfway through Splinter Cell right now. Death Watch on Netflix, so it'll tell you how invested I was in that. A Minecraft movie's popular. I guess The Last of Us season 2. Only because of one episode. There's one episode that's really good.
Hi, my name is Bella Ramsey.
I mean, you did get your Splinter Cell that you keep asking for. It's right there.
Yeah, there it is, right there. Yep. This is cartoon.
We did it. We made it.
Gosh. Yep. Let me see. Most anticipated game. I don't even know why this is a category. I have no idea what they were doing here.
This would have been an ideal. Yeah, this would have been an ideal moment to just have GTA 6 in all the spots and just give it to no one else.
I don't even know who they're trying to fool here. It's GTA 6, obviously. What a waste. That feels like a waste of a category. Content Creator of the Year. All right.
Give it a Kai.
There you go.
Kai's gonna win it.
Best esports game, Evan. You can hit us with that one. What's the best esports game?
Aren't these games all like old?
Yeah, no, these are a lot of them are long running. Honestly, it's depending on the
vote
crowd.
On the same ones every year.
Yeah, pretty much. Depending on the crowd, I imagine it's going to end up probably because they got them. No, it'll most likely be Valorant, but if they want the mobile community, they'll probably hit it up with the Mobile Legends thing just to be like, haha, cell phones, we're cool with it. But it should be Valorant.
Is big into esports. Wait, why are you going there? Come on.
I'm trying to see where I am. I'm like, hold on a minute. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. That's why I'm going this way.
Fucking idiot. You wonder why I tagged you in that PETA post.
I wonder how you saw that. You said somebody retweeted it. Now I'm trying to figure out who you following over there.
I think somebody said something funny about it, and Justin Wang retweeted it. Justin Wang was on the AEW pre-show tonight.
Was he?
Yes.
What was he doing there?
They were like asking him questions, like he was giving analysis and stuff. It was weird.
Oh wow!
Like he woke up there and was like, "Oh."
Let's see. Best sports / racing. Mario Kart World, Sonic Race Cross Worlds Rematch, F125, EA Sports, FC26.
Mario Kart will win.
I'm kind of thinking Mario Kart will because it has the name and the notoriety. Although FC is very popular worldwide. These are like worldwide outlets that vote as well.
You guys don't think Sonic has a chance?
No.
I played the shitty Switch version. I'm waiting on the Switch 2 one to come out in 2 weeks.
I mean, Sonic, it could. I'm thinking it's like
it does
even
have Knights now, which automatically gives it like 10 bonus points.
Has SpongeBob too,
right there.
Right there. Hey, it just took some time.
Best sim / strategy. The sad thing is, I'd be voting for the Final Fantasy Tactics, the basically the remaster remake.
I don't feel like any of this really stood out. So yeah, I mean, most likely will be Final Fantasy.
Man, PS1 generation keeps winning.
Where the fuck is my Jurassic Park game, by the way?
Oh yeah, the one that's like Alien Isolation.
Yes, that is my most anticipated game like ever at this point.
That's a good question. I don't know. I feel it when they showed
Jurassic
it.
World
It's
Evolution
like it was ways
3
off, but not.
Was what made me think of that. It wasn't completely random.
Best family game.
The Nintendo category.
Donkey Kong Bonanza. Well, actually, there's only 2 Nintendo games on here, surprisingly. Lego Party, Lego Voyagers, Mario Kart World, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and Split Fiction.
Mario Kart World will probably.
Mario Kart World makes the most sense, I think, just for.
Because, okay.
Just gonna win.
If you. I mean, we don't think. Because Game of the Year, I don't think Donkey Kong's winning. Maybe they just give it to it here, right?
Well, I'm sure Donkey Kong's probably in something else, though.
DK.
No, it's only in 2 categories, just Game of the Year and Family.
That's so this is the runner-up prize it'll get.
Oh, okay. That's a good point.
DK.
Yeah, like it's not winning game. There's no other game that has a chance at winning game of the year. We already know this.
No, it's over.
It's been over. It's actually been over since April.
Yeah.
Best fighting game.
Mortal Kombat Legacy. What are we doing here?
What's this 2XKO game? I see people talk about this all the time.
It's the arcane stuff, League of Legends stuff.
Capcom Fighting Collection 2, Fatal Fury, Mortal Kombat, Virtua Fighter 5. Mortal Kombat is good, but it had a lot of issues online. I know that, like the online play.
Yeah.
But it's still really good. I'm pulling for Mortal Kombat.
It's probably going to be 2XKO.
Probably, yes. All right, here we go. Best RPG. Outer Worlds 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, and Avowed.
Avowed.
I think
Trails you like that game.
I like the combat. The story was pointless.
The Trails in the Sky.
There should have been Trails in the Sky first chapter. This is just once again a lack of them just not liking JRPGs. Trails in the Sky is better than is Claire Obscure's in this category too?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You can see it
obviously,
right
but like
you could have pulled Monster Hunter Wilds out of this and dropped in.
But this is obviously the Kingdom Come runner-up prize.
Yes, 100%.
I thought about that. What if this was Kingdom Come Deliverance 2's category then? Because they have that is very, very like
Claire Obscure is going to win this category. It's going to win this too.
So Claire has got the shot for like actual game of the year, which we've talked about in the past. If it gets that, it should get everything else it's in, because obviously it's game of the year. It should be graded all these other things, but I don't know.
The thing with that is it says design with rich player character customization and progression. I mean, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is significantly deeper in terms of character customization than I think anything on this menu right here of any of these options. I mean, the thing with Claire Obscure is it's the favorite for a lot of the categories it's in. So I think it's almost going to be that default pick for people.
These people don't even know what an indie game is. You think that they actually read those descriptions like that?
Breakout new indie title.
They don't even know they barely know what an indie game is.
Best action adventure, combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. At least Indiana Jones got in there. That's good. Then Split Fiction, Hollow Knight, Silk Song, Ghost Yote, and Death Stranding 2 on the
Silk Song.
Yeah, Indiana Jones isn't winning anything.
This says Ghost of Yote all written all over right here.
It could be.
It does. I think
Death Stranding has a chance to win that.
It depends if Kojima's there or not.
He'll be there. He's there right now. I can guarantee it.
Death Stranding has to win something.
Yeah, I think Death Stranding has a chance to win that one.
I think either Ghost of Yote or Hollow Knight Silk Song if I had to go between the two. I feel like that Ghost of Yote maybe. Although Ghost of Yote is nominated for a lot of categories, so a lot of stuff it could win. Best action game: Battlefield 6, Doom: The Dark Ages, Hades 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, Shinobi: Art of Vengeance.
Doom: The Dark Ages, come on.
That's an action game, right?
It's action. You do actions in it, like every game in existence.
I mean, it just wasn't very.
Maybe Hades 2 gets that one.
Probably.
I'm going with Ninja Gaiden 4. I'm here to back a very good action game that went on for maybe about 4 chapters too long, but it was good. It was a good game. Somehow that ended up being like a 16, 17-hour experience. I don't know how that happened, but that's how it goes. Good game, though. Good game. I did like Shinobi. I'm almost done Shinobi: Art of Vengeance. I've actually gone through 100% at every level so far, and I'm at the end of the game just about. And I could tell because it said I unlocked like the ultimate weapon and all this. So I'm getting a kick out of Shinobi, but I understand that like a 2D game like this versus a big 3D game like Ninja Gaiden 4, or you can even say like Hades 2 with its track record with Hades 1, it'd be very difficult for Shinobi to win, but at least it got recognized. It's a very good game. All right. Best VR or AR game.
Just skip those, John.
But you're the VR guy.
But
it's Alien Rogue Incursion for you, isn't it?
It would be if I played it, but I haven't played it yet.
Midnight Walk could be good though, but it's probably Alien.
Okay.
Give it a
nothing for Deadpool?
No.
Oh. Best mobile game?
John.
Best debut indie. There is one missing here. And that's because what was it? Mega Bonk was nominated.
Yeah, the guy's made a bunch of games, so
and they withdrew it. But I guess the question is, if you form a new studio to make a game, and that's that studio's first game, is that not a debut indie game?
Well, we can't define indie since Dave the Diver, but
I'm surprised they didn't put Ghost of Yote there.
Yeah,
so that way it'll definitely win something.
Debut Yote game. That's the new category. They'll make a new category just for it. The debut Yotes.
It should be Blueprints, but since it's newer in people's minds, probably Dispatch.
Sean, you see what's here.
It's got to be Despelote.
Despelote.
It's one of the highest rated games of the year.
Yes,
isn't it rated higher than Clair Obscur?
No.
I don't. Is it though?
I think it is.
It's not rated higher than Clair Obscur.
I think it's like an 89. Just let me see.
Yeah,
Let me see what it is.
It's like an 89 or something. It's not.
It's an 89. It's an 89.
There's only one game. Hades is the only game rated higher than Clair Obscur this year.
I'm happy to see Dispatch in there. Dispatch was really good. But debut indie game, you know what? I'm going Blueprints. Going with Blueprints. I think that's how many people even made Blueprints? I feel like it's like one or two. It's a couple of
one
people.
guy in the sandwich.
I don't think many people made it.
Yeah,
well, Dispatch was a bit different. That game was being worked on for a while, and I think it's like ex-Ubisoft developers who were working on Splinter Cell, but then that turned into X-Defiant. Great.
Awesome. Thank God we got that series for movie.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell that one was.
I like Dispatch quite a bit, and I actually kind of thought that maybe it missed the cutoff because it was that episodic thing where they released 2 episodes a week. They've completed it though, as 8 episodes, and it's all done. So if you buy it now, you just get everything at once, and it was very good. It was good. It was so good that I was actually annoyed that I had to wait each week to get 2 more episodes. So that's how I know.
Why is the picture 2 dudes pissing?
Because that's in one of the opening scenes in the first game.
Yeah, you're a dispatcher at like a superhero, or they're trying to rehab here or villains to heroes, and it's a whole thing. But it's a very like tongue-in-cheek take on like the superhero genre, sort of. So like they'll have their own problems, and they half of them are drunks,
or they talk to you while you're pissing.
Yeah. So and your guy's an actual like hero that is down on his luck, and it ends up being a whole thing. But it's a good storyline, and it actually has decisions that matter throughout the game to where you want to go back and play parts of it to see what happens if you choose something else. So good game though. Good game. Best independent game. Okay, Absalom, Ball Pit, Blueprints, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Hades 2, and Hollow Knight Silksong. Hollow Knight's got to win eventually. I'm tempted to go with Hollow Knight here for best independent game.
I'm picking Clair Obscur to sweep like everything.
Oh wow, it's just sweeping.
It's sweeping, okay, bro.
Okay.
I'm picking it to sweep.
You know, it is always weird to me when I see this where somehow Clair Obscur would be the game of the year, but not the best independent game of the year. It's like you narrow it down and it loses, but then you widen the net and it wins. It's weird when that happens. So
I've been saying that for years, John.
I know, but if I believe that Clair Obscur wins Game of the Year, I'd have to believe that it also wins Best Independent Game. So that is a good point.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Here comes the sweep. The broom. Get the brooms.
Although I will say Hollow Knight Silksong definitely fits this description better than anything else for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system, to where we find out
reads that.
I know, but we find out it took so long because they were just having fun making the game apparently, and they weren't rushed by a publisher or anyone to get the game out. So they were just working on the game. All right, best community support. No Man's Sky. Going with No Man's Sky.
I'm picking Clair Obscur.
It's not in here. It's not a category.
Well, I'm still picking it.
A surprise 6th entry.
I'm still gonna pick it, so never know. They might change their mind and add it on there.
I mean, we had like 2 big updates just this year, I think, for No Man's Sky. They were just free. Hey, here you go. Oh, all right. That's where the meme is, where like the guy's busting in the bedroom door and he's like, "No, Sean, I have money. I have money." That's it. No Man's Sky.
Claire Obscure is a game. If you've been upset with JRPGs for decades, okay, this is a game for you. If you haven't liked anything since Final Fantasy VII, since 1997, it deserves to get on the list for everything. All right.
Best ongoing game: Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, No Man's Sky.
Give it a No Man's Sky again.
I'll say hold on, best community support and the best ongoing.
So community support. So it's things the community does within the game, most likely, which could push it closer to probably Fortnite, just because communities make like whole maps and stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas best ongoing would most likely be No Man's Sky.
Gotta be real. I kind of thought we were voting on best ongoing the last round, and they hit me with this now. So No Man's Sky.
They pretty much copy pasted the homework from the prior.
I was gonna say some of these categories sound kind of redundant. I'm gonna be honest. Looking at this,
that's why this one's gonna be read in a lump of 4 other.
You say that, Sean, but then they're gonna rapid fire these things off.
As we go to this Dorito commercial, we'll hit you with these 3 next winners.
Well, this is never where Despolote will win.
Despolote
he's never going to escape the whole Doritos thing, huh? He's like, Jeff Kitty's never going to escape the grasp of the
Pope.
Doritos.
Come on.
Yeah. This is it right here. Okay, games for impact. Sean, you said this is Despolote's move right here.
Yep.
I'll stick with Sean because, it probably needs one.
Sean has something.
It's one of the highest rated games of the year. It's rated higher than all this other slop on the list.
Sean has something against Despolote for some reason. He has some grudge against Despolote.
No, I like to say the name. I just like Despolote. That's
the first time you said it like that. What are you talking
about? I don't put as much stank on it, but like I really want to.
You like to say the name. You said it completely different than you've been saying it all.
You got to use that as a pen name for your next book or something.
Innovation,
just like you said it for the rest of the night, Sean. Like just like that.
Okay.
Innovation and accessibility.
Doom the Dark Ages. I love that. Just
well, Doom Dark Ages, they did stuff where they I think they like slowed the game down, and like they did a few things for that. But how often do any of us really look through a lot of the accessibility options extensively in some of these games? So this is another difficult one to be able to vote on. It used to be back, years and years ago, if you had colorblind mode and like Forza had that mode where it slowed down cars and time around you while you're racing, stuff like that. It was cool, but it honestly, this is a hard category to vote on. I'm not sure. Oh, never mind. Learn about the nominees. Oh, that would do it.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed Shadows, just because that would just annoy people. There we go. Best performance. Let's see. Troy Baker for Indiana Jones. That makes sense. Kanatsu Kato for Silent Hill. F. Jennifer English, Claire Obscure. Okay, there's 3 Claire Obscure.
Yeah, I think 3 people win here for Claire Obscure.
Hold on a minute.
All 3 gonna win.
They all have to go up.
Ishii for Ghost Yote.
Ben Starr is gonna win.
I'm going with Charlie Cox because he had no idea what was going on and he was confused why people were asking him how he felt about being nominated for the award. There's like footage of him on at Comic-Con or some event. It's like, I don't know. I was in the booth for like 4 hours, then I left, and I'm hearing about this game again for the first time. So he'll just be there looking confused. So if he even goes, he might not even go. So
I'll go with Charlie Cox. Move.
He
wins it, but he doesn't show up. So then another Claire Obscure person goes up there.
They can both go up and accept it on his behalf.
I think like the Golden Joysticks, Ben Starr won the thing there. So
okay.
Yeah, he won the best performance or whatever at the Golden Joystick. Not that doesn't mean it's going to be the same thing here, but I just think Ben Starr's been so close to winning it, like with Final Fantasy 16 and with what he's done before. So I think they want to get him that first dub at the Game Awards.
I do want to give credit, and I know we talk about this, but he's constantly coming up in voice credits and stuff. Troy Baker did a very good job in Indiana Jones.
He did an excellent job. He's the one who should really win, but it won't happen.
It would have had to be released like 4 months, 5 months, 6 months later. Yeah, maybe.
If he won, I'd be like, yeah, it makes sense. I get it. He did a very good job reprising basically Harrison Ford in the game. So I wouldn't mind it if he won. Best audio design: Silent Hill F, Ghost of Yote, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, or Battlefield 6.
Expedition 33.
You guys already know what I think. Sweet.
Oh my gosh.
Sweet.
Best
Expedition,
audio design. How's Battlefield 6 with that, Evan? You think anything with the weapons or the destruction, anything like that stood out to you?
Nothing stands out. Out of all of this, usually horror games should win these because they have to be very specific about the ambient stuff to build up fear. So should be that? Probably won't, but probably.
Here's the issue.
It'll be
that's Konami's game. Okay.
Yeah.
So put that one aside. Just put that over there. Now, yeah, it probably will be Claire Obscure, but like audio design, I don't know. I'm trying to think of Death Stranding 2.
Because audio design is more than music and just sound effects. It's how you use it.
That's true. Although Claire Obscure did that for a lot of the pairing and stuff. They used audio for that to like design for cues.
You know when the sound when you get like a triple counter, that sound like that.
Yeah,
that sound,
that's true.
Sounds so good. That's why it's gonna win. They like that sound. The Game Awards. Just that sound right there.
Yeah,
this is probably the only spot Silent Hill F might win out of here. Maybe
if it won, because you're right with horror games and stuff, they have to use a lot of audio cues and like 3D audio even was a big thing for it. Silent Hill 2 was huge for that.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah,
headphones are great for that game.
Best score in music for outstanding music, inclusive of score, original song, and/or licensed soundtrack.
What's that one game called, John? What's that game in the middle? Can you pronounce that?
Lorraine Testard.
I mean, that's the person.
I'm going with Lorraine Testard. I think Lorraine Testard should win.
Okay. Claire Obscure 33 is absolutely winning this. I don't even think it's a question. Yeah. They're gonna be big performance, everything, before Game of the Year for that. So
hopefully Lorraine Testard is out there doing it live.
Best did you play Claire Obscure? I don't remember if you said you played it or not.
Nah, I didn't play that.
You didn't play it?
Nah. I'm just a big fan of Lorraine Testard.
Dude, you might like. I think you'd like Expedition 33, Sean.
You might like it because it's like
would.
Dark, mature RPG for mature gamers.
Yeah, it's in Game Pass.
Testard. Oh, is it?
Are you calling a guy who likes Lorraine Testard a mature gamer?
And I would recommend you download it if you're just curious about it, Sean, because we've seen games leave Game Pass like a year or so after. Remember, we just did that with Stalker 2, that whole thing,
right before the big patch to fix a bunch of shit.
Yes, and Expedition 33 went in like the first quarter. Was that March or April or something? So I mean, we're coming up on that to start 2026. So just throwing it out there. It's a great game. You'd probably like it. It's that M-rated kind of RPG, like more traditional RPG. For this though, best art direction. Yeah, I guess Claire.
Yeah.
We're really doing
vote,
that,
OJ?
man.
Is it Claire?
Like
Is it Claire?
everything.
It should just only be Claire Obscure on there. That should be the only thing on there because that's what's going to win. Best art direction, Claire Obscure.
Best first-person shooter, Claire Obscure.
Yeah. If it was on there, it would win.
Yeah,
I kind of wanted to give it
obviously.
I kind of wanted to give it the Ghost of Yote just because it did a lot with in the open world with the different colors that when you're going through the world itself. It was a very nice looking game with that in mind, but Claire Obscure is probably gonna win. Best narrative for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. Silent Hill F, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Ghost of Yote, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Claire Obscure 33.
I mean, do I have to say anything?
Yeah. Best narrative for outstanding storytelling. So, I'm trying to think of a case for any of the others. Death Stranding 2 was weird. That's some strange stuff that happened in that game. Big twist towards the end. That could count.
What do you think the weakest one on this list is?
The weakest one is probably Ghost of Yote, I'd say, for the narrative.
Okay.
It didn't do anything that was like, whoa, I haven't seen that before. It was a revenge story, and some of it was kind of predictable at times. So I would say probably Ghost of Yote is the weakest one on the list. But probably Expedition 33.
They should have replaced Yote with Trails in the Sky.
People need to play that. People need to have played that game, OJ, for that time.
I know. I'm just saying. That's what they should have done it. That narrative is incredible in that game.
Best game direction. I don't think this one's Expedition 33.
But it will be.
I think that you're wrong, John.
Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design.
It'll be Split Fiction.
Thank you. I think it's Split Fiction.
Yeah.
I think this is Split Fiction.
Win something so they can have Joseph do his little speech.
Yeah. That would actually make sense for innovation in game direction and design, because Split Fiction was very different with a lot of the co-op stuff that they did. So that wouldn't surprise me if it ended up winning, and they get Joseph Ferris up on stage. Wouldn't shock me.
Let me ask you a question though. The Split Fiction. I'm just a quick. Why are you guys laughing? Now you make me.
Hit us with it, OJ. Bring us the facts.
Does Split Fiction have paintings? That just ask yourself that for just. I mean,
there's probably
second.
paintings in there.
But does it have paintings? Just yes or no question. That's all I want to. Just
like the Expedition 33 paintings.
No. Just yes or no. Does it have paintings?
No.
I have a follow-up question.
Right, that's all I just wanted to ask. Like,
Doesn't
okay,
need
that's all.
paintings.
That's
Does
all
it
I
have
want to say.
Testard behind it?
That's not the point, Sean. The point is paintings. And John said no. So therefore, that's all. I rest my case.
Let's see. Game of the year. Here we go. So that means that this would have been best game direction is kind of like that runner-up award. So Split Fiction would actually make sense for that one then. And then game of the year. Well,
this one I don't think it's going to go to Claire Obscure. I think this one's
no. I think so many people are of course looking at Expedition 33 as the game of the year. Like, it's the clear front runner. I think most people figure that's going to win. And I was trying to look over this, like what would be, so if everyone threw the vote in,
so
what
when
would
Kojima
be
takes the stage?
What would be what would come up second? What would be the runner up? Because Expedition 33 is so clear and away by most people's account, like the favorite. Out of these 5, then what do we think would come in second? If
I wish they told us.
That'd be kind of interesting to say.
Yeah, I wish they told us like what was second. They don't ever tell us what's like.
That's got to feel painful though for the people. It's like, hey, at least we were nominated, and it's like, oh man, we just weren't good enough.
Close.
I mean, I would think Death Stranding would be the game that would be second place out of all of these.
I could actually see that
first.
Yeah. It does play into kind of the thing is Jeff wants this to be sort of the Oscars for games, and Death Stranding to completely plays into that kind of a game, like that kind of setting. But Donkey Kong Bonanza would actually be kind of interesting to see that be the second place one, like for it to be able to pull those kind of votes. Yeah,
the interesting thing is the Golden Joysticks was funny because it's like the ultimate game of the year. Like, I don't know, maybe somebody in the chat knows this better than me because I don't follow, but like Donkey Kong Bonanza won like critics game of the year over Claire Obscure. So I mean, I don't even know how that's like a thing. But Claire Obscure won like ultimate game of the year. So maybe Bonanza could be like a second place, depending on how many people have it. But you also have to think one thing with these award shows is that it's based off of also like what they have and what they play. So
right.
Everybody might not have a Switch 2 at this point, like the people that are voting, they just might have PS5. That's like the main platform. So that's why I think more Death Stranding is like the game that would probably, be like that second place because people have PS5s more.
Yeah, I do think Death Stranding does play into this kind of a show. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, though, I will say that for the most part, none of these really surprised me much, but Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 did a little bit. It got in right at like right under right at the buzzer, basically. It was, I think, like the sixth choice actually that got in, and it was a toss up between a couple of them, but that was it was a game I didn't like as much, but MVG swears by that game, so.
I thought it was going to be Split Fiction or Ghost of Yotei.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, which those 2 games were nominated more times. So I think they were all close. I think it was between Kingdom Come, between Ghost of Yotei and Split Fiction were all like right there,
Yes. That's what I figured. I figured Split Fiction would have taken that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 spot, but no, that's that came in. And we did have for nominations because I think Jeff, he put out some graphics for it, just like how many times different companies and games were nominated. So the most nominated games, of course, Expedition 33 was the most nominated game with 12 nominations. Death Stranding 2 and Ghost of Yotei were second. They each had 7. Hades 2 had 6. Silk Song had 5. Split Fiction had 4. Those are all the ones that he tallied. And I think he also had, if I'm not mistaken, each company. Okay, here we go. So most nominated publishers, Sony Interactive Entertainment had 19 nominations. Kepler Interactive had 13. They, of course, with Expedition 33. Then Electronic Arts and Microsoft each had 10. Sega had 7. Supergiant had 6. And Team Cherry had 5. So Sony still had 19. I saw that. I was like, whoa, that's kind of surprising. Then I realized, oh yeah, Death Stranding 2 and Ghost of Yotei alone, the two of them just made up most of it. So it's at this point, because the Game of the Year thing is so obvious, I just hope they have some good reveals there, because there's not going to be a lot of suspense going into the big Game of the Year reveal. I feel like it's gonna be pretty straightforward. Let's see, Sean, you did your Analogue 3D video today.
I did.
I had a chance to play it most of today, actually. I checked that out a lot. I did a teardown for it, did all kinds of stuff with this device. So I've had a chance to really look into it. And you know what? I am quite impressed. Yeah. This is a good piece of hardware right here.
Yeah.
And there were so many concerns going into the release for this thing because we just had not seen much about it.
Hadn't seen really anything about it.
Right. And somehow, some way, Analogue comes through and delivers what I think it surprised me with some of the stuff it's doing. I will say that. I was trying to find things, of course, that had like lower frame rates and stuff and just throw it at, because it has the overclock setting. So this system does 4K 60 output. You can play around with all kinds of stuff for N64 cartridges to where you can remove kind of the Vaseline look effect to it. You can remove scan lines or whatever else, make it look clean or add them in. And so you can play around with the image as much or as little as you want. But while you have probably the best image quality you're really going to get realistically, unless you go to emulators and texture packs and stuff for these N64 games, the overclocking is by far the best feature for this thing. Because you played wrestling games with it, Sean.
Yeah, I did Mission Impossible because that's a game that I actually really like, but it looks like shit and it runs like shit, and it was like way better. And No Mercy. So No Mercy is the only, well, Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 as well. But when you do a 4-player match, No Mercy slows down like almost half the frame rate to any other match in the game. But when you overclock it, it works perfect.
Yep. So I was basically getting any of those high res N64 games. So Rayman 2, Turok 2, Pod Racer, anything where if it saw the expansion pack, it then kicked up in resolution. You could turn it off, some of them anyway, in the options, but I left it on. And most of the time, if you have an N64 with the expansion pack, you will just get worse frame rate. So in some cases, you would switch out the expansion pack for the jumper pack to get better frame rate, but at lower resolution. This thing just solves it completely. I even did the 4-player Perfect Dark setup with 4 bots, so 8 players total running around, and it held up pretty well. That's the situation where I remember back in the day, single-digit frame rates.
Right.
But it held its own. I will give it that. And that's like the biggest, I think one of the biggest stress tests on it is that Perfect Dark 4-player split screen setup. And it wasn't perfect, but it wasn't single-digit. There's a game that I loaded up that is notorious for being just a terrible game. The frame rate's not good. You take a guess at what I'm... Superman 64, yes. I loaded it up, right? And I was like, okay, let's see if the overclock can solve this thing. Because that game, the frame rate's really bad, but the response time, people, of course, now it's notorious for this. The responsiveness for the controls are really bad because of that. So the first thing you have to do are fly through rings. And it's almost impossible because by the time you move the stick one way, it's like he's finally starting to turn one way and then the other, and it doesn't keep up with you, so you usually fail. First try, I beat it. First try. And I couldn't believe it. It sounds crazy, but it's so much more responsive to play Superman with this thing overclocked.
Must be nice to have a EverDrive that works.
My EverDrive does work. Yes. That's the other thing I need to touch on as well, because I have the version number. I opened the EverDrive up and got it's like version 3.0.
Okay, you could have just went into the menu.
Well, I mean, I need to get a picture of it on the for the video. So I wanted to get the motherboard picture. Yeah, it was like, because there's only 4 screws in the back, it just pops right. I mean, dude, I opened up the entire Analogue and got down to the chip and removed the heats. I did all this stuff. So removing a couple screws in the back of the EverDrive cart is like light work compared to that. But Superman 64 actually playable on it. You know what? That's what I would put on the front of the box right there. Superman 64 mildly playable now.
I got a summer cart coming in tomorrow with a preloaded micro SD because I'm completely impatient. So when it comes to EverDrives, basically older EverDrives seem to work, but if you bought anything within like the past 5 years for an EverDrive, it currently doesn't work. Now the creator of EverDrive, Crix, has an Analogue 3D on the way, and they plan on figuring out why it's not working and making it work with an update. So it won't be like super low. I would probably say by the end of the year, they'll have it ironed out, but I don't have that kind of time. So summer carts do work with the EverDrive or with the Analogue. So I have a summer cart coming in tomorrow with a preloaded micro SD. I just bought it off of Amazon. I'll probably make a video on the second channel with it, but I want to try like Turok 3 and stuff like that. I love that game.
That's
but
a good one.
It does not run well on original hardware. Right? You know, you got the remastered one that came out on Switch, and that was actually the first time I really played it. And I was like, "Holy shit, this is awesome!" And then I tried to play it on my EverDrive on my modded N64, and it was just like no. So I was kind of stuck with just the games I still had cartridges of. I actually don't have any expansion pack games left. I have all the N64 wrestling games. I have like Turok 1, Super Mario 64, Zelda, Mission Impossible, GoldenEye, Star Fox, and Wayne Gretzky 3D hockey.
Conker's ran well too. Conker's bad for a day. I have that on cartridge. But you also set up like profiles for each one. So when you pop it into the system, it has an entire menu that comes up and you could see each one with the cover art. And MVG, I guess, thought he was like, oh, maybe this is just saving them to the system, but it's not. It's just, you can set up profiles for each one. So if you want one to be overclocked, but not the other, because the overclock is still experimental. So I feel like we're probably going to find some that have some kind of issue with it.
So I know of a game that does, Batman Beyond. It breaks the game if you overclock it. But I also don't like how there isn't a global setting, because when you pop in the SD card, there clearly is 2 folders, settings and global settings, but you can't access global settings in the game in the system as it stands right now, which is annoying because I'm not a PVM scan line
I just make
sort
clean
of guy. So I pick clean, I jack up everything for the most part, and then I roll with it. And I have to do that for every single game. And it's like, just give me a global option, and if it fucks it up or I want to do something different, then I could do it for that individual game.
Yeah, we played this person's asking Perfect Dark. I did play it. Perfect Dark runs great on it.
I think they were saying because I don't own Perfect Dark.
Oh,
you gotta remember, I got rid of all my stuff, and the only stuff I kept is stuff that has like sentimental value. So like those are the games. I could have kept Diddy Kong because I used to play that a lot with my cousin, and I might have, and I just don't know where it is. But yeah, that's kind of why it's a random assortment of games.
Yeah, I mean, it's legitimately shocking how the overclock is able to do this, because you can kind of overclock the N64, the actual hardware, but all that really does is speed things up. So you're kind of playing fast forward, and it has some weird effects. This is legitimately FPGA chip, and they decided in design that they want it to run things just better. So it's impressive. It is. And you know what else I noticed? Did you use one of the 8-bit Do controllers, Sean? No. Okay. So I synced that up and everything. It runs fine because the front light on the Analogue 3D is the button to sync. So you press that light button. And what's really cool is the controller, the 8-bit Do controller, does turn on the system wirelessly.
Well, I mean, I'm using a original N64 controller.
See, I wanted the wireless. I wanted the wireless.
I don't care that much.
But you press the start button, it'll turn the system on. Just
you
like
can use if you get there's an adapter you can get to use the N64 NSO controller.
Oh, see, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'd use that. That's because the thing with the 8-bit-do controller is the stick is a bit more sensitive because it doesn't have the same kind of travel as the N64 original controller. So it'd just be better than to use the NSO one. That is like as close to the original N64 controller as we have, but also wireless. So I would just do that to round things out. Although I did have 4 of these 8-bit-do controllers hooked up to test Perfect Dark, and the system figured everything out and worked with it no problem. So it was pretty impressive. It is. It's analog, so it's not a cheap device, but I will say for how much the Ultra HDMI is like stupid expensive now, and even the N64 systems that have the cheaper N64 board on it, it's not going to compete with what Analogue 3D is doing. So it looks
better than my high speed Ditto one, which was $200 installed already on it. And there's more options, you know. And that's another thing I want to try, which kind of pisses me off that my EverDrive didn't work, because I got all that crazy shit on there, like the fucking anti-aliasing turned off ROMs. So like I want to try that with the deblur and the anti-aliasing off on the system, and then all the emulators and stuff. I know Joe tried NES, but like I want to try like Game Boy, Super Nintendo, and shit like that. So
that could be cool.
Yeah, depending on when it comes, I'm gonna do a video on the second channel, kind of as like a follow up with some of the more random shit that I want to try out.
Okay, good stuff. Yeah, I liked the system so far. After really today I had a chance to play the system a lot, but also opening up. It's high quality inside, so. It's a good release by Analogue. I'll be curious to see what mod retro comes up, because then they're kind of seeing the Analogue 3D now just ahead of their reveal. So here's hoping they have their own overclock setting, because that like legitimate game changer.
Yeah. And it's funny how they didn't fucking market the thing.
I know.
They said nothing about that. Nothing about built-in anti-aliasing off.
Nope.
Nothing about deblur off. Nothing about overclocking.
We learned
Surprise!
If they said overclocking before all this, and they talked about it in this way where it's like, oh yeah, all your games are going to just run significantly better, like frame rates that aren't in the single digits or teens, that's an easy sell for a lot of people then.
Yeah.
Weird. I don't know. I don't know what the deal was there.
But now they have a second batch going up, which is I think it's $20 more than the originals that we got, but I'm assuming it's possibly canceled pre-orders, or they magically found some, and they're gonna do colorways and shit. They already did a colorway for the fucking controller. Did you see that? The 8-bit controller. Now
I did. Yeah,
it's like original N64. They're gonna milk the fuck out of this thing, just like they do all their fucking shit.
Kat says, as you all see, Spawncast AI, the return video here on YouTube, was just uploaded a few hours ago. They got RGT's favorite YouTuber as a guest, goated.
I watched like the first 5 minutes of it, and it was very funny and kind of scary, honestly.
Oh, really? It's that close, huh?
It was like me saying, fuck you, John. And you were like, all right, how's everyone doing today? And I was like, that's scary.
That sounds about right. Was your favorite YouTuber on there?
Yeah, DSP makes it can't. I don't watch the full thing, but DSP and Review Tech are on the thumbnail, so it's probably going to get very unhinged.
Okay. Let's see. Cody says the game Cleared Hot is on Steam, a new helicopter action title inspired by Desert Strike. It has overwhelmingly positive reviews.
I've seen that.
Cleared Hot.
I saw an ad for that pop up, and I was like, what the fuck is this? But then I never looked into it.
Here it is. Cleared Hot. It came out November 20th, 2025. Whoa, it does look like the old Desert Strike game on the Genesis. I remember playing that game.
Oh, that's another game that runs really good on the Analogue 3D, Nuclear Strike.
What about Command? Did you play Command and Conquer?
I don't own the cartridge.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Super limited. I'll tell you tomorrow. I mean, but Command and Conquer runs great to begin with on the system. It looks.
Isn't there like there's like a high? That has a high res mode, doesn't it? Or no?
No.
No. Okay, let's see. Johnny Israel says, "What TV do you recommend for gaming?" Asking the big dogs. I would say. Well, actually, hold on. Let's see if there's because you're gonna run into some deals here soon. Hopefully, I got that. I mean, the one I upgraded to somewhat recently was the LG C5. It's very bright. It's not on the level of a G4, like the G4. If you get an LG G4, that's the move. If you can find one either within your price range or just on sale. But if you get a G4, I'd go for like a 65-inch. Yeah, see, G4 is still kind of up there in price. Although they are marked down a little bit. The C5, I think, is probably the move. But of course, anyone in the chat, LG has just made a really big push towards just gaming in general. And that's what a lot of people are going with right now. The Sony Trinitron, very nice, very nice.
It's a good one. Classic.
Callan Shaw says, I think Steam VR cost more or less the same as Steam Machine. The headset that they have shown recently with the piece of hardware. I think it'd be cheaper. It's supposed to be kind of like a Quest 3 competitor, so I would assume it's $400 to $500. Happy Impression says, to help the food or game situation, everyone should consider making a donation to their local food bank in the amount they spent on games this year. Shout out to Happy Impressions. The Dawn Brigade says, how about Claire Obscure probably winning best indie game? To me, an indie game should be like Balatro or Animal Well. Very small team and budget. Well, you'd have to go like really small team and really small budget for a Balatro or an Animal Well, to where you have maybe one or two people working on the game. Claire Obscure technically was a smaller budget and had 33, and they tried to play it up into that number. There was outsourcing and stuff that happened too for that game. But I get what you're saying there. Claire Obscure is kind of that AA style game. It's not single A, as people say, where you have literally one person working on it.
Claire Obscure is not an indie game. Not an indie game.
It should be like 2 indie game categories.
Okay.
Like indie games and then indie games.
Like indie game.
There's
indie-esque.
There's no way it's the same as like Balatro or like an indie game like Shovel Knight or something like that, right? Like it's just not. I mean, they had movie deals. They have some of the best casting in the industry with Ben Starr. Like they all this money came from somewhere. Like it didn't just appear from a tree. Like it's not
like they have Kepler and so like they have a publisher, the whole thing.
Yeah,
so,
and like I said, they had a movie deal before the game. Like there's already a movie deal for the so it's not like people didn't know that this was going to be a thing. Like an indie game usually is like, oh, this game kind of came out of nowhere, or it's just kind of like a super small team. So I think they got this one wrong with this with even though I advocate for Claire Obscure winning everything, but I
kind of picture the best indie game
best ongoing game. Yeah.
That game too. Yes. Ongoing. I'm still talking about it. It's ongoing.
I kind of picture best indie game as people just kind of hanging out, making it in their garage, almost like that level.
Well,
so
I mean, the core of it's just independent. It's not supposed to have a publisher. There's not supposed to be big money behind it necessarily.
It's not supposed to have a publisher, not supposed to have investors, not supposed to have movie deals, not supposed to have big Game Pass deals. Not supposed Claire Obscure had all of that before it even dropped.
Technically, it can have a Game Pass deal because it's still just an independent studio, and they get the side money from it. That's probably fine. I'm just so long as Microsoft's not just like, all right, throw our stuff in there, get Master Chief in there. We need
the level of investment for this game goes far beyond a indie game.
This is from Casual Noob Gamer. Says, just got a novel craft idea. Use Amiibo as Christmas tree ornaments, and if you keep your tree up all year, you will always have them looking neat. There you go. Just keep the tree up all year.
Did you guys see that I'm up for an award?
No.
Your what award are you station or
in the prestigious Nintendine Awards, I'm up for Grifter of the Year.
Oh, word. Wait, where do I vote?
I think you just go to the video and vote for me.
Oh. I don't want to give a view.
Very
to a
proud.
video.
Very proud.
Yeah. Do you have an acceptance speech already figured out?
Yeah, if I win, dude, I'm down. It's honestly like if you watch what he says about me, it's probably like one of the nicest things like anyone's ever said about me on YouTube. So like,
this guy's a piece of shit.
no, he's just like he's good at what he does. You know, he seems like a nice guy, and I'm like, oh, this is nice. I'll take it.
Well,
I hope I
at least
win.
you're up for an award.
Yeah.
Kevin says, John and OJ, hey, I was wondering if Retro got the Switch 1 version of Metroid Prime 4 to run at 60 frames. That is the word right now. Although we'll see. I'm sure there'll be the Digital Foundry breakdown for it. But yes, it is targeting 60 frames per second on the Switch 1.
Yeah, and you can see that they showed Switch 1 footage before the Switch 2 was like revealed. So they did show it running at 60, at least from Nintendo's footage.
Braxton says, hi, long time no chat. I recently got an original PS5 and I'm looking for some good action platformers and RPGs to play. What do you guys recommend? I have my eyes on Spider-Man 2, Astrobot, anything else? For
nothing.
Miles
There's
Morales.
nothing else. Just those two.
No. I mean, I still think like going with like God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok, very good games. So I'd recommend those. Returnal, good action game. Definitely.
Have you played The Last of Us before?
I mean, you could get like Last of Us part because they did the part 1, part 2 bundle. You could pick that up technically. And I do still I like Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yotei. I thought they were very, very good games. So there's a lot if you haven't if you've maybe been behind a bit on that, depending, because some of them do kind of bleed over into the PS4 generation. But I mean, Spider-Man Astrobot 2 will keep you busy. I assume you already played Spider-Man 1 then.
Miles Morales. That's my favorite.
Miles Morales is very good too. Yeah. Yep. Let's see. Again, she says, happy Xbox 360 anniversary. Most cherished, funny memory with the 360. Mine's Red Dead Redemption 1 online. My donkey jumped off a cliff and landed on my friend, killing it. Hey, happens.
There's a whole new meaning to Donkey Show.
There you go. Let's talk about the 360. The 360 did indeed turn 20 years old today. It came out November 22nd, 2005. It launched with 2 bundles. There was a core $300 edition that had no hard drive, a wired controller, and composite cables. And then they had I think they just called it just the 360 edition, although we would call it Pro or Deluxe edition. But that came with the 20 gig hard drive, wireless controller, 20 gigabyte hard drive, and it came with a headset for online play. But the launch titles that I think most people will think back on would have been things like Call of Duty 2, Perfect Dark Zero, Cameo, Need for Speed Most Wanted, Peter Jackson's King Kong, and I'm sure there were some others as well that I'm not just remembering off the top of my head right now. But it was, to think 20 years ago the Xbox 360 came out is surprising, alarming, I think is a word for it as well. A lot of nostalgia on this system. What do you guys think when you realize 20 years ago the system came out?
I was working at GameStop.
When it came out?
Yep.
Did you dealt with the
bro, red rings and fucking we were doing towel tricks in that bitch trying to help people out, and every fucking day people were calling trying to get a 360 and stuff like that. We're waiting on shipments and stuff. It was a fun time. Probably the last great generational leap.
Was from the Xbox to 360 or PS2 to the PS3.
If you look at a game like, Need for Speed, you look at a game like King Kong, you look at like an NBA 2K that came out, the first one that came out and stuff like that. When you put those two bitches side by side, you're like, okay, we're doing Call of Duty too as well. With the multiplayer and shit online, it was like, okay, this is big. This is that leap. It
was very noticeable.
Yeah. We would have set up to sell them. If we had like some used ones, we'd put them. I'd put one side by side. I'd run. I think must have been NBA 2K6, the one that had Shaq on the cover, in the Heat. I put the Xbox version, I put the Xbox 360 version side by side on TV side by side, and people were just like, "Holy shit!" It's like, "Yeah, dude, this shit's legit."
You can see the sweat on the players.
You see the sweat, jerseys moved and shorts moved. King
Oh
Kong.
yeah,
is
the
super
cloth
under-
discs.
Yeah, I'm eating a Portuguese roll. Sorry. King Kong, like that Xbox 360 version is still like a fucking really good game to play.
It's actually kind of expensive still. I guess it's never going to be backwards compatible, I assume. So that's probably why.
Right. Licensing.
Yeah, but that, I mean, because the system came out November 22nd, so we were really only a month of 2005, 6 weeks maybe, and then it went to 2006, and 2006 was like a legit first full year for that system. Like, I mean, Ultimate Alliance, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, right? Gears of War, Rainbow Six Vegas, Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter, which I did go back and watch the MTV first showing for the Xbox 360. It's like a 20 some odd minute event when you cut out commercials and people uploaded it to YouTube. They were calling that Ghost Recon 3 at that time because they weren't ready to reveal the title. So they just called it Ghost Recon 3. Saints Row, that came out. And then Call of Duty 3, Fight Night Round 3. Like there were some legit titles that came out at that. I think they had SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. So they had a lot of good games that followed up.
Was it 07? I thought 08 might have been the first one.
SmackDown vs. Raw.
You could be
2007, right. 3. Let me just make sure that yeah, here it is. It came out.
Okay.
When did it come out? That's a better question. Release date on that. Because I think that was still around that time where we were getting PS2 and then 360 versions like offset from each other. They didn't come out the exact same time. That was November 10th, 2006. It looks like PlayStation Portable, PS2, and Xbox 360.
I had that shit on 360 version. And PSP because it had Sabu, and it was the first time Sabu had his moveset in a game where you could do like Air Sabu, where he sets up a chair and jumps and leg drops a guy in a corner, and then the triple jump moonsault where you set up a chair when you're down and you run, you jump onto the chair, you jump off the rope, and you do a moonsault on it. And it was funny because they programmed in all those moves for him, and then he was gone. So in 09, you could use created moves and have those moves, but like he wasn't in the game, and then they've never been in a game since. Pisses me off. So whenever I want to like play a wrestling game and actually play I guess the new N64 ROM hack, Barely Legal, is kind of like that, but it doesn't have a triple jump in it. So the only time you can play a triple jump moonsault in a game is either SmackDown 06, SmackDown vs. Raw 08 or 09.
What do you think, OJ? 360, 20 years old.
Yeah, I remember playing at my friend's house because I didn't quite have the money for it at that point.
We all had a friend who had the system, right?
Like, yeah. I remember going to a buddy's house and we were all hanging out. I think we were, well, how old was I? I think I was in college, and yeah, I just remember hanging out and I think like drinking a little bit and just playing Ghost Recon or something like that. I think it might have been the following year, not exactly launch, but I just remember and playing Madden and playing Ghost Recon, thinking, oh, this is cool, I want one. And I think later that year I ended up getting it. So yeah, just it was good. It was a good generation. It's fun. Games were fun. Red Ring of Death, I also have my own issues with that, but yeah, it was good. The 360 generation was fun. I mean, I was upset with Perfect Dark. I thought I was like, I got Perfect Dark and I'm like, yeah, this game's not necessarily great.
Not good.
Yeah, but I was like, outside of that, it was, I had fun with the 360. I thought it was solid.
Zasbar, first Condemned was a launch title. Yeah, that got delisted somewhat recently, but that was a crazy release on the 360. Condemned. I still think back to that game, and it's hard to believe it's been 20 years for that as well. But that was one of those games where it felt like Elite because everything had reflections, and like you went outside, if it was raining, the ground was like wet, so it would reflect light. And that's the thing I think that was so striking at that time, was that like surfaces looked like they all had depth to them versus the PS2 and the Xbox. Everything just kind of looked flat around you at all times for the most part. So it was a big deal at that point. But Evan, I don't know if you remember anything with 360 outside of having to repair a million of them.
That was basically where I was working at that warehouse where we had a quota we had to hit, which was always fun with, what was it, an 80% refail rate those things had. So they would test them, and if you didn't hit your 12, you would get yelled at, and that does include if they refailed during testing. So it's super fun. Going from that to working at a store where we repaired it, I was pretty happy. I was already back playing PC with friends, so that was good.
Sounds like pain back there.
At least at the warehouse, we didn't get the cockroaches like we got at the store. That was always great.
The 360 though, that first half of the generation is still, I look back on as like the golden era for Microsoft, because once they had that Kinect come out, it felt like that was kind of it for them. Like they got so fixated on a lot of the stuff outside of games. It was more about the mainstream, but
the lifestyle.
They kind of chased the multimedia stuff, and then the Xbox One ends up with a Kinect built in. Basically, you have to get the Kinect with it, and people weren't really buying that. Like, I don't know about
laser
this one.
tag and stuff.
Yeah, that's the only thing is there was that run of a solid 5 years, I feel like, where Microsoft was just cruising with the 360 outside of the Red Ring stuff, but from the software side, they were rolling, man. Games were coming out. They were picking up those third-party titles, like BioShock was a big one, obviously, that a lot of people still think back on. But even Call of Duty 2, I think many people forget that was only on the 360. And then the Gears of War, Halo, Mass Effect 1. That's when I flowing, man.
That's when I really started getting into it, was Mass Effect 1. I was like, okay, this is I feel like next gen. And yeah, graphics were always great. It was good to see the graphics and stuff, but I felt like Mass Effect coming off of Jade Empire, it felt like such a huge jump with the visuals and the combat. I'd never played a third-person shooter quite like that. I'm pretty sure there was something, but I'd never played anything like with the RPG elements plus the shooting elements, how they combined it, plus the story, plus pick kind of how you want to go about it. Different, like the sauce on there was great. So that was when I was like, oh wow, I'm super, super, super invested. Was Mass Effect in 2000. I remember playing it. I remember I got back from school, drove back to my mom's place, and I remember my friend Big Ben came over. He's like huge. He like played for the University of Washington, and his like hands are like way bigger than the controller. So like we were playing, or he was playing, and it just looked so funny. He's like 6'7", and he's like 300 something pounds, and it was just hilarious watching him like hold this controller that just looked so much smaller than him. But yeah,
then hoping you called him Big Ben because he was like 4'0", and you thought it was funny.
No. But he big old dude. He's like 6'7", like three some. Played tackle at Washington, but yeah, it was just funny watching him like use it. Like I just want to remember. And then like he left, and then I was playing. We were playing Wii Sports, and we were playing because like the Wii came out at that point, and we were playing Wii Sports. We played that first, and then we played Mass Effect, and then he left, and then I just played it all the way like for like 7 or 8 straight hours. It was great till like early morning. It was super fun.
DOA 4, yep, Their Life 4 only on Xbox 360. They were rolling. Dude, Microsoft
that game was fucking insane. The graphics in that game were insane.
Yep. That's the thing. It had kind of that clean, like I said, like a lot of 360 stuff just looked really clean early on compared to the generation we were coming off of. Everything looked very shiny at that point too. But it was a graphical showcase after graphical showcase were coming out, and they had the whole year head start on Sony. And then when the PS3 came out, it was struggling with a lot of third-party games because just developers had these 360 dev kits for a full year.
You guys remember the press conference that year
with Sony? Yeah. This is an infamous one. Yeah.
Oh, that one was so funny. You can go like when they announced the price, you can hear like the air, like
Oh yeah,
from the room.
$600. Yeah, it was ugly. It was ugly. And the 360 controller, people are saying that's still one of the best controllers like ever released. That 360 controller was awesome. So it had a lot going for it. It did. And the Elite came out with the HDMI port finally. It was man, what a time in gaming. It is a time I look back on with a lot of fond memories, a lot of nostalgia, and it's weird to think that I'd be nostalgic for a system that can do 1080p technically and has an HDMI port. It's like, man, that's just how old everyone's getting. Yeah.
Mass Effect 2 was nuts too on the 360.
I mean,
man.
that was a huge jump. That was one of those sequel
Yeah.
jumps where it's like top tier stuff.
Like that was like a big graphics jump, and they stabilized it. Wasn't I mean, like Mass Effect 1 ran pretty bad at times. But Mass Effect 2, they stabilized it a bit, and man, that game looked great, played great. It felt like next level again. You know, Mass Effect 1, I felt like it was, but Mass Effect 2 really just like felt like took it to the next step again. Within that generation, only 3 years, not even 3 years later, it was actually like 2.5 years later. About 2 years. Yeah. So
GTA, so they got GTA 4 on the 360 because even before that, the PS2 was looked at as the Grand Theft Auto system, but they managed to pull away GTA 4. At that first E3 that I mentioned before the 360 came out, they had Square Enix on stage to present Final Fantasy 11 online MMORPG. So Microsoft was wheeling and dealing back then. They were like, no, we'll put the money out, we'll get the exclusives for our system.
And that doesn't even like we haven't even spoke about what they were doing with the 360 with stuff like Tales of Vesperia. They got Tales of Vesperia, which was always it was kind of a mix between Super Nintendo, PlayStation, like the Tales series and all that. But that was mainly known for PlayStation, and they got that timed exclusive. They got Star Ocean 4 timed exclusive. Yeah, they got that. They got Lost Odyssey. They got Blue Dragon. So it was just a rush, and those were all within a very short amount of, it wasn't like these were spread out throughout the whole thing. Those were like
Infinite Undiscovery, Last Remnants, Eternal Sonata. They were rolling through
a bunch of time
as much as they could.
I would love to know how much they actually spent on all that. Like that because it was probably so many millions, of how much they spent. But this was all like back to back to back to back to back. It wasn't even like it was spread out like throughout 8 years. It was in a short proximity of each other. So it was pretty cool from like an RPG fan perspective,
We saw Forza go to the next level, Forza Motorsport 2, and then eventually Horizon came out down the road. Like it was
even Project Gotham. Wasn't Project Gotham that was a launch game, wasn't it?
Yep. It was. Yeah. It was 3, Project Gotham Racing 3. Yeah. That looked incredible. But like Forza was that game that it really took off on the 360. Like Forza Motorsport 2 was insane. And then Horizon, just the idea of being an open-ended racing game like that. It was Microsoft was really, really hitting on all cylinders then. And then the Red Ring stuff, of course, happened. I look at that Kinect as such a turning point. I don't know. The whole thing about that. It was cool at first because it was like, it's a fun little thing. But then it sold so many units that Microsoft just must have thought, this is it. This is the move. And then Don Matrick showed up and off they went. So kind of unfortunate. Although the Xbox One had a decent launch lineup, but I don't know, the 360, just that first launch lineup, and then the entire year and a half after was just constant releases. It was wild stuff.
It kind of lost a bit of it because, like I said, I like the 360 because of all of the the RPGs and stuff like that was on there, and then like the Xbox One didn't. They didn't really go aggressive at all with any. They didn't do a damn thing in Japan for the Xbox One.
No, and I have to recognize just Xbox Live outright, because when that went to the 360, man, that thing took off too. Like the original Xbox had Xbox Live, but it was very much like a kind of a game by game basis for the most part, to where some games barely use the Xbox Live functionality at all. But it felt like with the 360, all these games were coming out. We're like, no, we're going to use Xbox Live in some way, with multiplayer or social features. And then you get things like your Halo 3s and stuff. But even before that, Gears of War and just ways to be able to make your party go into a room and just hang out basically the entire night virtually playing these games and chatting. So it was good stuff. It was good stuff coming off the PS2 generation for that. Let me see. This is from Checkmate. Says, what's good? I'm happy Shinobi and Ninja Gaiden 4 got nominated for Best Action. The year of the ninja is going out with a bang. Almost 2025. Yeah, you got that and Ragebound. So those are 3 good games. I started reading that. I was like, oh, where is this going to go? Nomad says Bill Clinton kid should get an award.
I listen to his podcast sometimes. He's very funny.
He's a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, Interesting.
He interviews people.
Cody James says Expedition 33, only game that made me cry at the beginning.
You cried at the beginning? Oh my God, you must have went to rehab by the end.
I was saying, game got dark. The game got dark. If the casual noob gamer says if Death Stranding 2 wins Game of the Year, Kojima is going. Okay, casual noob gamer. Give Jeff Keighley a
what? Hey, what?
Say it.
There's money.
Say it.
There's no bad words in there.
A reach around.
There it is.
Why are you
Clean audio for all of you.
Why are you thinking about that, casual noob? That's what I want to know. Why are you thinking about that?
It's just trapped in his head, sitting in his room.
Ruffle Mutt says the Game Awards has become too predictable for the last 5 years, except last year. Do you feel it loses charm if it becomes easy to predict?
No, because I think I don't think most people watch for the awards. They watch for the announcements. The awards are secondary.
That's true. I think there is
for the teams that make the games and shit.
Yeah.
It's not for the common folk.
I think there is just a little extra when you're not sure about the game of like just to be like going at least debating it somewhat. There's not much debate this year. It's kind of feels clear cut, but I guess there's a chance for an upset.
Did you just say clear cut?
Seems pretty.
Pun intended. Did you say clear? I see you, John.
It's that's the thing. Sean's right. People are going to tune in for the reveals, and Jeff is on Amazon Prime this year. So
is he really?
Yeah, you got an Amazon Prime deal.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yep. The Game Awards will be broadcast on Amazon Prime streaming as well.
That's something.
Yep.
That is something. You know, Amazon, they be paying people too, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you would assume I'm sure he'll put a lot of the money into performances, music, stuff like that. But I would like to think that he also goes, hey, let's get some good reveals here for this thing.
Bezos bucks.
Yeah. Andy Ackerman says Team Juice today. It's awkward watching Evan playing with his dolls, but maybe that says more about me than him.
Okay.
You playing with your dolls, Evan? Is he talking about the wormer things?
Yeah, just doing that thing online people do where they're like, I'm super friendly with you, and then they just say shit. Normal.
Rufflemud says even the premiere became a bit too easy to predict.
World premiere.
I love Coke Slurpee says I have a lot of both Switch and Steam games. So what would you choose and why? Steam Deck OLED 512 gigabytes or Switch 2? Well, I will tell you the Steam Deck OLED is it feels like it's getting a little older now. Good system. But the Switch 2 is going to be getting games going forward that just are not going to be emulated or anything. Like that's always the thing. People go, I'll get the Steam Deck because I can emulate these Switch games. Yeah, it's not going to happen anytime soon for the Switch 2. So you basically have to look at that and go, do I want to play some of these games maybe that are coming up for the Switch 2, or do I just want to play Steam games that are attainable on the Steam Deck? Because there are definitely a lot that are getting difficult to run on the system. So it's kind of up to you with that. But if I had to pick right now, I'd probably get a Switch 2 because I would feel like Nintendo is most likely going into 2026 start to roll out more and more games, obviously announcements, but also prices could be going up. So just throwing that up there. King of DMC says, y'all forgot to tell RGT Expedition 33 is basically a turn-based Souls game.
Oh, here we go.
Well, I mean, you can parry, can't you? You can press a button in rhythm.
John, have you bought my copy of Metroid Prime 4 for the Nintendo Switch 2 yet?
Now it's got to be the Switch 2 copy all of a sudden. Okay.
Of course. I need the real copy.
I feel like when we made that bet, it was for the Switch 1 edition.
I want it on the Switch 2. I mean, I'm
now
not even going to play
changing.
I'm not playing the one you buy because it won't come on release day.
Yeah, you're just getting it digitally to play it early. Yeah. Let's see. DPX Solo says y'all see the return of Spawncast AI. Well, if Sean has, you see some of it, so I'll have to look this up. I'm actually just curious about the AI stuff to see how
it's in the
close
Discord.
it actually gets. Oh, okay, cool. I'll check it out.
It's just voice, I think. It's not even moving pictures, really.
Evil Nate says, let's not forget the Nyko intercooler. Oh, dude, that intercooler was terrible. Oh my gosh.
It wouldn't equate to the back fan, so you get oscillation noise. It would cause the fans to burn out harder. Like,
it was the one you had a problem with was it went into the power port.
Yeah,
and
the one that was the pass through.
Yes. So I had like an intercooler thing on the back for mine, and the only reason I used it didn't use the power on the bottom. It was like a separate one. And the reason I used it is because it also gave the 360 VGA out. And I figured out, this is my HD TV is going to be my little like widescreen monitor that I have downstairs at that time. And that's how I played the skate demo back then, Sean, when that came out, was on my little monitor, because it was like, it wasn't a tube TV. It actually had progressive scan and it looked pretty good, but it's because that intercooler had VGA out that I was able to do that. I was sitting there with intercooler playing Skate 1 when that demo dropped. Different times. Dice Game Network says, can anyone answer if the Red Dead 1 update applies to 360 disc owners on current gen? Literature only specifies the digital 360 version. Ooh, that's actually a great question. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure. We'll have to test it someone will have to test it when it comes out, but that might be a way for them to get you off that physical copies and you buy it again. Superman says PS3 wasn't cluster F for devs, then 360 be dead. I mean, I don't know. 360, Microsoft was snapping up a lot of those games and making it 360 only back then. There was like the 360 only tag on the box. It was a big thing.
How times have changed.
I know, right? Interesting. How times have changed.
Interesting. Indeed. How your most successful system was also the one where you had exclusives.
One where they were very cutthroat too.
Interesting.
Zazabar became a YouTube member. Shout out to Zazabar. And Mech Armor says, would love to see Eternal Sonata on modern console. That's not backwards compatible, is it? I don't know what to say. I don't know if they'll ever do anything with that again, although I guess somebody can remaster it. We like our remasters nowadays.
Aspire.
Franchise is done. You ain't better Eternal your 360.
Aspire's working on
it. Sonata your 360 and be happy. That shit ain't coming back, brother.
Sean said Aspire's working on it. They're finishing up Tomb Raider, the Rise of the Tomb Raider right now for the Switch 2. That's really just the 360 version for some reason.
They need to fix the checkerboarding on the Switch 2 game they put out.
Here, there's a lot to fix, apparently. People were after that game, man. It's a good game, too. It's unfortunate.
It's still fun, but yeah, if they fix the checkerboarding, I'd be fine. It's a weird... It's like you said, an HD version of the 360 version. But I mean,
they did an analysis.
It has multiplayer.
They did an analysis on it. It's not quite the 360 or PS3 version. Seems like they ported it over and they added some things because some of the textures and things are different. If you look at a direct comparison between it, it's kind of just like a Switch 1 version of the game. Then they took the Switch 1 version and ported that version, put it at like 4K 60 or whatever, and just upported it to Switch 2. So that's kind of where it lies if you look at the direct, because there are a multitude of different things in the comparisons between like the PS3 version compared to the Switch 1 version. But yeah, it closely more resembles that one than the PS4 version, but it doesn't quite look like the PS3 version either. So it's kind of like a weird in between with the Switch 1 version of the game.
It kind of reminds me of when they did the port for Force Unleashed. They put that on the Switch, but they used the Wii version for some reason. So
they're a weird company. Weird.
They do strange things. Yes, they do. Todd says, hey, John, as we head into the holiday season, Lydia and I wanted to make you a pie. Apple or pumpkin? Do you like pie or a fan of strudel? I think pumpkin pie is good. Mr. Joe says the Kinect was one of Phil Spencer's first Xbox projects. People blame Don Mattrick, but Phil really planted the seeds of failure. Phil's been there the whole time. That's the big twist. You go back in time, you just see him at every event behind the
scenes.
The
curtain.
Yeah.
Little grin on his face.
Hiding recently, though. I haven't seen him in a while.
I was going to say, he has been pretty quiet, hasn't he? Interesting. Breath of the Wild says,
they're right in business. That's what that fake stolen valor fucker said.
You still have not forgotten that. Oh my gosh.
I am a big I can forgive, but I can't forget.
What are we talking about?
Major Nelson was on to it. Sean said something on what you said something about Phil Spencer.
What the fuck is Phil Spencer doing? And Major Nelson on Twitter, and Major Nelson was he's running a business.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Okay, yeah, I remember that.
Stupid fake Valor, son of a bitch.
On the fletters to say into the ground after all that.
He's not a major. He never served. It's fake Valor. I thought he was like a military dude, and then I looked into it, and I was like, "Why the fuck do you call yourself Major Nelson?"
It's an Xbox 360 tag, fam. It ain't like fuck. John, are you a spawn wave? Are you a spawn wave, John? Or is that
could be?
Yeah, you don't know.
But that's not.
What the hell is the Chimerix? What the?
It's not Lieutenant Spawn Wave or something like that.
Could be
Lieutenant Surge. You a Pokemon gym master? You a gym leader, John?
Yeah.
What Pokemon would you have? What's your type?
That's a good question.
No, it's not.
I feel like it's like a person. That's like a personality question. If you're a gym leader, what would your Pokemon be?
Honestly, normal type for you.
Normal type.
That's true, John. You might be normal type, fam.
I'm okay with the normal. I mean, what do you expect to see when you go to a gym? It's always like themed in some kind of element or something. Normal type would probably throw a curveball, even though it's very basic. You're like, oh, it's a normal type. That's kind of boring. I'm not prepared for this.
John got like
my ghosts. No,
John got like 6 Rattatas.
That's true. Most people would roll
level
in
100 though. All 100, 6 Rattatas. They didn't even evolve, bro.
But people would always roll in with like the psychic type and the ghost type. Evan's right. It'd be like, oh, let's see. This is do you remember the Red Ring of Death Tal trick to get your 360 running for a couple hours?
Of course.
That's how you beat GameStop back then. You just had to get it running long enough for them to test it, and then you were home free. That's what people did. Wrapped it in the towel, let that thing heat up. And when it turned on for a split second, you ran to GameStop with it. Yep. And then Andy Ackerman says, "Hey, Evan, I love you, brother. Guys, seriously, go chill with him. He's a fantastic artist."
No, Andy pops in.
Yeah, Evan streams over on Twitch
and YouTube. Twitch more for gaming.
Oh, YouTube's like the creative outlet platform for that.
Yeah, if I'm prepping for tournaments or getting projects done.
Good stuff. And Claw says, I wish people would point out the excessive focus on Kinect and mismanagement loss of first-party studios when discussing Xbox failure. Those did far more damage than Don Matrick's buffoonery. Well, Don Matrick did his best to bury the system, but I'm telling you, that Kinect did some damage. It shifted, I think, a lot of their focus.
They messed up though. Like he's right. There needs to be more talked. I know there is a lot talked about it, but
it's less about being talked about, but more about having the memory for it.
Yeah, like how many years did they have? They had a decade of just acquiring studios and like, listen, I don't care about like if you don't get a game nominated for Game of the Year, whatever. But like it is kind of like, wait a minute, you bought all those studios, you got all this, and you can't have a single exclusive nominated, you know? Like, so I think that's just kind of like what happened just a little bit there. Just like a little, like they did mismanage. What happened to Perfect Dark? Where's Fable? Like there's too many, like what happened to Scalebound? Like how many games like over the years, have just been either non-existent or just canceled or just gone or whatever the case is. So it's like, yeah, that's the problem that I saw from the Xbox One era, at least. A lot of mismanagement.
I had one other topic for tonight. This has to do with the Steam Machine. It had been kind of quiet on some of the info for the Steam Machine, except for the pricing, because that is the pricing and the release date is kind of what people are looking for at this time, since it's like the last piece of the puzzle. But man, the more information comes out around the price point, in my mind, the more the estimate is going up. Because I was sitting here at 600.
Yeah,
my initial.
I was like, yeah, it's got to be 6.
They keep talking. These Valve engineers, they keep talking.
And shut the fuck up.
The price keeps going up. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you're just killing interest in it now.
They kind of are, because the Steam Machine will be priced like a PC, not like a console, right? They go, oh, it's not going to, I think that was with Linus Tech Tips. And then Linus apparently brought up the idea of like a $500 system. And no one was thrilled at the idea of that. Everyone was kind of apparently looking around. He said the energy was sucked out of the room after he said that. Okay. So then we get an interview today.
I was okay with that because they're not going to tell him like this, that, or the other. But then that shit that you're going to talk about from today that came out, that was much more damning.
So that was that was over on SkillUp's channel, and they did an interview, and it sounds like that they are not going to subsidize the system, and that it will be priced more in line with what you'd expect from a PC in this regard.
You think it's 4 digits now?
I don't think it's 4 digits. I also don't think it's 600 anymore. I'm kind of now wondering if this thing's $699.9. And even then, if they keep talking, it might go up to like $749.
Well, the problem is that, you know, all these parts cost so fucking much because they're building all this stupid ass AI centers and shit. It's gonna fuck everything up.
The price points for it's so frustrating because years ago we had the whole crypto thing that was happening. GPU prices were through the roof. It was ridiculous because everyone's buying these, and there's a few like the 580, the AMD's 580 card. That thing was getting snapped up constantly, and now you can find them all over the place for cheap, but you have to be like, what's this used to mine crypto?
How many miles is on this?
Yeah. So, because if you find it really cheap, you probably have to understand, I think that ran into the ground 24/7. But we get through that. Prices not really go down, but they kind of level off. Right? Maybe tick down a little bit. Okay. It's not $2,000 for a mid-level GPU anymore. Great. Now here we go with these AI data centers being set up all over the place. They were talking about the other day setting data centers up in space, like putting them in the bottom of the ocean. Like you're just trying to find places to put these things at this point. And so right now, as you mentioned, Sean, component prices right now, RAM is the big one. People are noticing that they bought 64 gigabytes of DDR5 2 months ago for $180, and now you look online and they're $400 to $500 for the same kit for just RAM. And it's just because all these data centers are using the flash storage that apparently could be going up next year, SSD, for example, DRAM, all these things being used for RAM in PCs and video RAM on cards that, well, we're talking about the Steam machine. People are going back and forth on 8 gigabytes of VRAM. Might be a good thing now that it has 8 gigabytes of VRAM, because that's 16. This thing might legitimately be $1,000 then. Like, that's kind of where we are right now, going into 2026. This is looking rough. It is.
What about if they had like CRAM or something different? Like, couldn't they maybe a little bit cheaper?
Change the letter there. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. I see the vision. Yeah. There's this is from Moore's Law is Dead. Put out a kind of I don't know, I guess a report, but mostly just some hearsay, I guess, that the Xbox management was not prepared for this. So Xboxes could be going up in price again soon. They're $650 for the Series X.
Great idea.
Could be $700 soon for the Series X. Or the other alternative is they're still selling Xboxes, but they're not actually selling Xboxes. You know what I mean? They're not really shipping them. They still sell them, but they're not looking to mass produce and ship out a ton of them anymore. Like, they'll just not order them, really. And because they're in this weird position anyway, how often do we see stories pop up for Microsoft where it's so clear, like they want to talk about the next generation because they're asked about it. Sarah Bond's like, oh, we're doing all the stuff. You know, big jump. You know, we're play anywhere. Keep an eye on that. And so now they're apparently going to go through 2026 into 2027 with this series that might have to go up in price again, while they're basically all wanting to point to the next system. So what a weird time in gaming and technology. And the problem is, it's not going to stop anytime soon. We're thinking 2026. This whole AI thing, it's NVIDIA reported numbers. They beat their expectations. They kind of are what we're following for the AI market. And it's like full speed ahead right now for all these companies that are throwing literally trillions of dollars at this right now. It's not stopping in the next year, maybe 2 years. So I
Eventually,
don't know how much more expensive stuff's going to get.
Though. You'll get the bubble burst with it.
You would think so. You would.
And a lot of people are going to lose money, and then we can laugh at them and be like, "Ah, you're stupid."
I mean, there's a chance that if it was really bad, it might like crater the economy completely.
Fuck it.
And I don't know what that means exactly. I don't think anyone really knows what that means because it's everything is kind of reliant on AI to hold everything up, but money is just being sent around in a circular fashion between these companies, and then it's kind of almost like stock market manipulation at times with what's happening.
Oh yeah, when Nvidia says their stuff's in high demand after creating that demand.
Well, yeah, but what seems to be happening, and I see so many of these finance like a lot of these places that cover a lot of the stock market stuff, and they put out their reports and everything on this, and they go, okay, so the way it works is, and AMD buys OpenAI stock. OpenAI announces like that they're doing this big partnership, or vice versa, and then stock shoots up. They then sell, and then they use the money to buy more GPUs and RAM. And it's like, I don't understand how this is working exactly to where it's more long term.
But then that's the trick, because it spreads out, because it's like they're saying they have to buy X amount, which means the demand's already preset, which means the video cards they have, despite the cost of the video card, can now go up in value because they're in so much high demand that they then created, thus creating the increases in prices they're using with everyone else, which is wild. Yeah.
I mean, the bottom line is a lot of these companies that would say provide a lot of the chips that'll be going in these systems, specifically on the RAM side right now, but eventually NAND, flash storage, stuff like that. This is guaranteed money for them. And I saw that I think SK Hynix, they sold the entirety of 2026 with all of their contracts and manufacturing. It's already been sold. Like they're good. They might be looking to open more manufacturing lines and stuff, but they seem like they've found buyers for everything, and it's not for gaming. So I don't really know how this works out for any of these companies, because when the bidding is like that behind the scenes, Sony would probably have to raise their prices, Microsoft and Nintendo, because like low power DDR5X is also not going to be immune to this. Phones will probably be, I don't know how this works out for the consumer, but it's hey, if you have all these systems now, I mean, I guess technically they'll get more valuable. That's a way to look at it. Silver lining. 6 years in, most likely, we'll be talking about the systems going up again in price. So the Steam machine, in my mind, I think I have to raise my expectation. I think it's 700 now.
But if you want it at the lowest price, you'll have to buy it right away.
Here's the wild card, though, okay? Because I don't think it's $699 by itself. I think next year, in the first quarter, it's $699 with a controller and with Half-Life.
They did sell those controllers for like $5 for a while. They're willing to take a loss on their controller outputs.
You think they do Half-Life 3? Really?
So there is a game that is Half-Life themed that they do indeed have ready to announce. And I am so hesitant to say Half-Life 3, because look, let's go back to 2019, right? If we get word that there is a Half-Life game coming up, we would immediately go, oh, it's Half-Life 3. And then here they come with Half-Life Alyx. It's a VR game. And then I go, well, technically it's a Half-Life game, but it's not the one we figured it would be. So I think there's room for that to happen again here, because there seems to be a lot of info flying around that is contradicting each other. And it seems to be mostly dates that people are talking about, like when an announcement would happen or something. And Valve, being a private company, is able to lock down their security, I think, a bit better. But there is belief. Like, if I had to take a guess, just a guess, I would say they probably do have Half-Life 3 ready to go for the first quarter of next year. But it could be a spin-off title. To my understanding, though, it's a game in the Half-Life universe.
That's not Half-Life 3. There's a big difference between Half-Life 3 and some spin-off game. If it's some weird spin-off game that, is just kind of like, oh, that's cool, kind of like Alex was, it's not helping sell the system.
No, I think you would want Half-Life if you're going to really do this and go for it, and you understand the price has to be higher than maybe they want it to be. If you pack because they packed Half-Life Alyx into the index, basically you bought an index, you got Half-Life Alyx. So if they do the same thing, let's just say they have Half-Life 3, they package that in with the Steam machine, it's $700. There are probably people who go, well, I was going to buy Half-Life 3 anyway, and it's a $70 game or $60 game or whatever. It's like, okay, and it's optimized for it, like they specifically set it up in development for this. Even I'd go, you know what? Okay, yeah, I see it. I get it. Okay.
I mean, you're getting the 512 for that price, but
yes, yeah, the 2 terabyte is most likely borderline $1,000.
I think that will be $1,000.
Yeah, we're gonna see that, but most people will judge it based on the cheapest option because with the Steam machine, we've already seen teardowns to where it's pretty simple to upgrade the storage, and at that point, I would hold out for a deal online, Cyber Monday, whatever, and just grab a 4 terabyte and upgrade it that way and call it a day. So,
or just delete shit you're not playing.
That too. You can do that too. Or use an SD card. There's an SD card slot right on the front. Yeah. There you go. You pop one of those in.
But yeah, if it's some spin-off game, I don't think that hits the same.
No, that's the thing. It's what's in development. It's so most people believe it's Half-Life 3, but man, it wouldn't shock me if it came out of left field and it was something else. Or they might not even call it Half-Life 3. It could be called Half-Life something. And they're like, it's kind of Half-Life 3. But
you just have all the Half-Life stuff bundled in because Jesus Christ, when's the last time you played Half-Life 2?
They've given away Half-Life 2. I think for the anniversary, they just gave it away. You could just go on there and
you're trying to attract console gamers with this thing. When's the last time we played it on the fucking 360 orange box? Like,
okay, that's fair. I get what you're saying. Yeah, so you could do that. You could package. Basically, it's like, hey, if you buy Half-Life 3, we'll just give you Half-Life 1 and 2 anyway, and all the stuff.
There you go.
And yeah, and if you activate your Half-Life 3 copy on the Steam machine, you'll get them then anyway.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
I think that would make sense.
Yeah, which is why they won't do any of this. It'll be some weird spin-off. It'll cost $900 for the 512, and nobody cares.
Here's the interesting thing is, I would expect if this game would be announced before the Game Awards. I don't think it's at the Game Awards. I don't think they care to. Why would they care? But would Half-Life 3 have to be announced at the Game Awards? No. So it wouldn't be this week coming up. That's Thanksgiving. Could be the following week, but everyone's just kind of guessing now as to when it's going to happen. I don't think anyone actually knows when so you see people online right now who are doing the thing where they're going back and forth. They're doing the hope and all that. No one really knows when it would get announced. I think Valve will just show up one night even. Half-Life Alyx got announced later on at, I think it was like 6 or something, like later on during the day. So anytime they can just tweet about it, and that's that.
It'll be announced at a talk at a school in Europe. That's when it'll happen.
Why not? Why not? I don't think they'll do any kind of viral marketing thing where they try to make it like a mystery. I think they're just going to show up. Here it is. And that's it. It's going to be with the Steam machine next year, early 2026. So should be cool. Let me see. This is from Fellow Pragmatic, who says, is PlayStation Portal worth it now with the cloud update? I think if the PlayStation Portal wasn't worth it to you before, I don't know if it would be worth it now, because that cloud update, you have to have PlayStation Plus Premium to use it, and that's like $180 a year service. So I don't know how much value that added outside of just a little extra, to be honest. Checkmate says Half-Life Alyx 2 VR and flat screen will be rad. They just need to do Half-Life 3. Deport Sicilian Gamer says it's going to be Dota 3. Oh, man. That would do it. I would do some damage online, so that would do.
Do you think we're past the cusp of no matter what, Half-Life 3 is not going to impress nearly as many people as it probably should once it releases? With how much hype, how much constant, oh, it's going to be great, it's coming, it's almost out, and then it just doesn't. Do you think we're going to be there where it's like maybe 40% of the people who should like the game are just like, it's not living up to expectations?
That is tough.
It'll get hype and shit with it.
It'll get hype for release. People will purchase it, but once that hits, like, do you think there's just people who are like, I was hoping for more here?
Well, the reason I think people are excited about Half-Life 3, obviously the Half-Life 2 had a certain kind of ending and stuff that people were like, we want the next game. But usually what you see, because Gabe Newell's mentioned this, they didn't make Half-Life 3 because they need some kind of concept for it. So with Half-Life 2, it was all about physics, and Half-Life 1 really kind of set the stage for the story, but also we didn't have a lot of first-person narrative games like that back then. And that was kind of its thing. So I assume they'd have something figured out for physics system, or maybe different things with ragdolls for enemies, or just something that really sets it apart. And that maybe is why people are really excited. So if it doesn't have some big aha mechanic or thing to go along with it, Evan, then yeah, I think there will be some people who are like, oh,
which would have been the VR for Alex, but that was Alex, not 3. So.
And that did some really cool stuff with VR, sure, but it's still VR, and we know how that works. It's a niche thing. So
like, what are they expecting? A monitor that like stabs you in the face if you get hit? Like,
yeah, put the shock, like with the
put the shock collar on and play Half-Life 3.
Yeah.
What are you fucking that Hassan's dog?
Before the Silly Gamer says, John, do you think the collector's edition of the Steam Machine will include a statue of Simpic Gabe Newell to sell more units? Thanks to Port Silly Gamer. Let's go around here as we finish up. Sean, where can everyone find you? Couch GT.
5 out of the couch watching the AEW pay-per-view. It's been pretty decent so far. You can also find me on YouTube, RGT85. Go watch the Analogue video from today. Tomorrow's kind of a weird discussion video. I don't really know why I guess I kind of did because of one of the games I just finished up. But go watch it. It'll probably piss some people off, but who cares? And then, yeah, that's about it. John, go buy my fucking Metroid Prime 4.
You just finished Zelda.
There you go.
Okay. OJ, where can I find you, sir?
Yeah, find me right here on YouTube, Player Essence. I put up a couple videos, talk about Metroid Prime 4. I'll have more videos on that leading up to the launch of the game. I also stream pretty much daily. Not streaming tomorrow, though, but I'll be streaming next week, all week. So, yeah, come through, hang out. I'll have videos up on... I'm finishing up my Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment stuff. I got Donkey Kong, Hyrule Warriors, Pokemon. They're all going to be, like, all put out at the same time. I'm kind of, like, putting up some finishing touches on each one of them. So check out those videos whenever they drop Nintendo and RPG content on the channel. So, yeah, thanks for having me on once again.
And then Evan.
Player Essence on the YouTubes.
You can find me on YouTube and Twitch, Kimmerix Project, tabletop stuff, prepping for games, a lot of Games Workshop-y things. Warhammer 40k, Kill Team is usually what I'm known for, but I've been playing a lot of 40k recently with a lot of the locals who are all weirdly highly ranked on the global scale for this game. So super fun, super hard, but super fun.
Okay. Good stuff. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight. I will say next month, so starting on the 6th of December, so it'll be the 6th, the 13th, and the 20th. Those will be the 3 shows in December, and then the 27th we won't be on. So the 20th will be the last episode of the year. Those 3 shows, though, will be raising money for charity. So just letting you guys know in advance. Anyone in the chat and stuff, come by then. I'm going to also have, I think the 20th, we're going to be doing a show where we're just going to reflect on the year with all the releases, talk about the games we played and stuff. And I think I'll get MVG to find his way here for that, since he also played a lot of games through the year. So it'll be that'll be a good time.
Fixed.
His computer exploded. He got hit with like a lightning bolt. Like actually, and then he got that working, and he's like, my router blew up too. So like, get a router. Hits just keep on coming. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll be back next Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see you guys then.